5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now tuned into Thoughts to Myself.
Thoughts to myself, like.
With your host, Pound So Wavy.
Yeah, I go by the name of Crisis.
Yeah.
What happened
Yeah.
right now?
These my vibes right now.
I can't afford to not record, so I call my nigga Crisis, tell him hit the boards. Then I call Tay, put the pedal to the floor. Before we do the shop, gotta stop by the store. I'm on my knees, gotta go to the Lord. I pray to you, these niggas gon' pay for it. All them times that I win, ignored.
So what? It wasn't 20, but still I scored. Hey. What's good, world? What's good? Welcome one, welcome all to another episode of Thoughts to Myself, hosted by myself, Pound So Wavy. We are out here. As you can see, we in another location. Last time I was distracted by the TV, so I couldn't really focus, you know what I'm saying? But we in this room now. We in this bitch. Trying to get the shit together, you know. What's good with y'all? Now, before I start, there could be some people talking about the dates and times posted. Like, if you realize I actually had these things recorded and posted from probably 2 weeks ago. But I get so busy and so caught up at times that I forget to do it. And it isn't a matter of timing anymore, it's just a matter of doing it and doing it consistently. So I was trying to figure out a time that I actually would do this at. Not a time, but like a date. And I concluded probably Sundays, Mondays, or Wednesdays, or whenever I feel like it, just because, you know. But on the last episode, I was going to get into unemployment, all right? And I wanted to get into this because I feel as though people don't know how to get out of their own way, you know? They don't know how to get out of their own way. When I say that, I mean, like, we don't know at times that we are our own detriment, you know? And it's crazy because when you really just look at it in hindsight, being 2020, you be like, yo, I wasted a lot of time doing a lot of fuck shit, you know? But it is what it is. Let me just get straight into it. Yeah. If it's your first time listening, know that I used to work for the government of the Bahamas, and I resigned from there, all right? I resigned there for personal reasons and just knowing my worth and for pursuing entrepreneurship, all right? Now, I never thought that it would be easy, but I knew it would be hard, just not this hard. But it's a very rewarding task. It's tedious, but once you get into it and you start doing it, you start to really realize how beneficial it is with the freedom, you know? Just working on this camera. I think it's kind of blurry. All right, there we go. But yeah, so it was either late December or early January. Like, I got a life lesson from a job interview that I didn't get, you know? And it was so eye-opening because we always think we know what's right and what's wrong, you know, like what is best for us. And the truth is, we should. But the way life humbles you, you know, it's just so funny at times. You know? So, just a backdrop on it. I've always been my own person. I've always been independent in myself to get what I need. I'm an only child, so I always knew how to get my own money. Based on the fact that when I grew up, we lived in the urban area. For people who don't know the Bahamas, I grew up in Farrington Road, all right? It's fairly urban now, but and it's not a bad neighborhood. But we moved to Coral Harbor when I was like 10 or 11. So when that happened, I gained an appreciation from my parents and what they did for me. to like move me from Farrington Road to Coral Harbor. And for anybody who doesn't know, once again, it's like a big contrast, but it's basically urban versus suburban, so with that said, like, I never wanted to depend on my parents for money. All right, never. And if you know anybody now to this day, I can be broke and you wouldn't even know it. I can be broke, I wouldn't ask you for money. I can be hurt and I wouldn't ask. Like, money is a problem that I never once needed help attaining from people, And like, that was just a mindset instilled in me from when I was a kid. Like, I told my mother at probably the age of like 10, I don't never want to have to ask you for money. And like, that was me. Like, I just didn't want to depend on people, because I understood sacrifice at the time. And like, that's young, but when you're an only child, you have to learn a lot of shit on your own, So from I was young, like, I was just making my own way. I always had a source of income, like always had a stream of income. After schools and breaks, I would like clean up with my father's stores and shit. Like, I'd sweep and all of that. From like 9 to 11, I got into high school. I started like selling candy and CDs and shit. And like, I'm really like making money in like per day off the candies alone, Ninth grade to like 12th grade, I was doing temporary tattoos over Atlantis. Like, people at this time are still in school, like, and it's no slight to them. My parents asked me to give me money, but I just didn't want to get money from them. Like, it just wasn't, it didn't feel of a man to me, but it is what it is. So I always had jobs, like, growing up. I always had ways of getting money, all right? So when I resigned from the government, I had a plan, all right? I had a plan, and it didn't go as planned. And, like, that was one lesson I had to learn in it all. Life never goes as planned. You have to keep on moving. You can't sit there and just cry over the spilled milk. It makes no sense. It's already spilled, all right? So let me just fast forward this whole thing. Like, college, I had jobs in college. I did my little things there and there. I got money, But just fast forward, like, after I left this job, all right? For like several months, I was going on job interviews. And because I now knew my worth, I went into interviews confident and not big-headed, but sure of myself, all right? And when you're sure of yourself, you don't take no for an answer, all right? So that really happened several times where, like, I was telling the HR person or the person interviewing me, hey, I left for a reason, and if this reason isn't fulfilled, then I shouldn't have left in the first place. Logically, it makes sense, But this story isn't even about humbling yourself to, like, lowering your standards. Just really about understanding yourself, period, So I had this interview probably, like, late December, early January, right? For an insurance company. And the people who brought me in, like, they were really, like, receiving of me, like, very welcoming. Like, they wanted me to work there. That's how I felt, and that's how I took it, and like, that's how they conveyed everything to me, Like, I was assigned a mentor, for the time being. What else? Like, I was pushed to, like, do these, like, insurance tests and study for these shit. Like, they wanted me to actually become an agent. All right, and that's cool, whatever. All right. And, like, this one HR agent, like, who just took me under his wing, he just, like, he basically saw everything in me that I saw in myself, So he was really in my corner, He really trying to support me and push me, So it came to doing this test. And I can't recall the exact name of it right now, but it was a test along the lines of, like, your creative ability, your ability to get jobs done, work with other people, to adapt to your surroundings, meeting deadlines, patience, shit like that, little things like that. I took this test on my own time, And before I took this test, I told myself, yo, I could honestly lie on this test right now and be the best candidate for this job, or I could be real and hope that these people understand who I am, what I'm about, and try to mold me into, I guess, who they think I should be, whatever, or just guide me or mentor me down the line, That was my initial thought. I got the test scores back, and let's just say it was 5 categories, right? I probably got a 3.5 out of 5 on 4 of the categories. I got a 2 on 1. And it's crazy because this one category was the category that they really were looking for, as a sales agent. And basically it was being adaptable, all right? Just being adaptable. And that was a lesson I learned from the whole thing. Let me show you how this whole thing went, all right? Basically, my whole philosophy is I am who I am. I won't change. And I don't have to, People put on fronts, or they're malleable, they change and they shape to fit the room or whatever. Me, I'm not that. I'm solid. I'm going in a room, I know who I am. This is who I am. This is, and that's cool and all, right? But this is what the lesson taught me, all right? Basically, the man was like, yeah, you are a good candidate and so on, but this one trait that you have makes for a bad agent. And that's cool. I didn't take no offense to it. I just was like, okay, you live and you learn, you understand it, all right? And when he pointed out that it was being adaptable, and I thought about how I could have lied to get this job, but I was just being me. And I thought about it in hindsight and long term. And it was how long are you going to be stubborn in who you are and expect to make progress with it? And that was crazy because it was I don't know if you ever read or saw the quote, not everybody's going to put up with a that's just how I am type of person. I saw that quote before the interview, and I was like, I am who I am. They're going to like me or not, And that's cool. That's a good mindset to have. You are who you are. But you have to understand certain times you have to relinquish yourself a bit for future progress. You have to. You can't be so stubborn in who you are that you miss out on all your blessings and all of your opportunities. You close them, And that was a lesson I learned. It was so enlightening because for me it was I was getting in my own way the whole time. I was doing everything right except for really checking myself, And since that interview, I started checking myself more, I started just really understanding my flaws and fuck ups and just, learning how to deal with them. And and I'm gonna lie, life has really been better since, because where I am now, more comfortable in who I am and what I've been and who I'm trying to be. It's the universe is giving back now, And that was my whole thing I had to learn. It's not all about you sometimes. It's really about other people. It's the people around you that you have to really take into account for, And that's how you really get your blessings, by being a person who can give. Whether you go into a room and your aura gives off a certain vibe, you give. Not go into a room and you expect to be applauded or respected, or And that was a good lesson I learned. I just wanted to share it with some people because, like I said, people get in their way a lot of times. We don't really look at the big picture because we're so close to it, And it's some fucked up shit, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And that's really how I feel about that. If you feel that one, you should hit me up on Twitter or hashtag T2M. Let me know how y'all feel. My bad as well. Shout out to the clothing line, HL. Get your royalty shirt right now. Get it right now on shophumbleion.com. Link in the bio, in the description, whatever you want to call it. All right. We get into some fuckery. All right. Because like I told you guys, I never wanted this to be so informative that it's serious, but rather just eye-opening as well on certain thoughts. But about like 2 weeks back, there was this video with this guy like in a one-piece thong bikini. That's cool. I ain't watching that. But like she 6:30 cock over twerking on spring break, which is she in Miami, which we all know is a bad idea. But she is bent over twerking, you know what I'm saying? She have this nigga with a hole in his do-rag, slapping her ass and biting the cheeks and licking the cheeks, whatever it is, you know? And that's cool and all, but this girl had a boyfriend, right? This girl had a boyfriend. And it was so bad that my whole thing is females defended her. And my whole thing is, if it wasn't that bad, she wouldn't have felt no way about that video being up. But she was guilty, so she wanted to delete it. But that's just me. That's just my opinion, you know? But that happened, and I think like a week prior to, there was a video of someone in the strip club getting a dance, you know? And bear in mind, the difference here is the strip club versus just wilding out on spring break. I think there's a big difference because you should slap some asses and, you know, fornicate per se at a strip club. That's what it's for, you know? But I thought about this, and it really posed the question to me, is it really just a dance? You know, a lot of women say, I was just having fun. Cool. If a nigga does it, he isn't just having fun, he is stepping out. But I understand along the lines of it just being a dance. Like I can understand that, yeah, it's just a dance, all right? But I thought about myself in the past, all right? And you know, like, in that 3 to 5 seconds that you pull up on a girl to dance with a girl, and she looks back at you, and she proceeds to bend over and dance, you know, like, that's basically confirmation for you could fuck if you play your cards right. Let me just say it that way. Not guaranteed, but hey, I don't mind you behind me, so it's cool, you know? And there's going to be females like, that's not true at all, that's not true at all. But I can guarantee you there's been several dudes or more who have fucked off a dance. Like, they've fucked off a dance before. And like, myself, several times. You pull up on a girl and she look at you and she's down. And especially if she feels a hard on and she keeps on dancing, you know for a fact what she into, right? But I understand it's just a dance. And for me, I have to understand. I think people have to understand that if you are obliged to somebody in a relationship, I don't think you should put yourself in the positions in the first place. You just shouldn't do it, you know? Especially if you are, like, if you are with your niggas and so on, they egging you on, your niggas should know better to say, but you have a girl home. Stop that. Same with your girls. If you are with your girls and you drunk and so on, they should say, hey, you know, homeboy, home, like, you should ease up. You know, don't encourage or condone that. But that really, like, it didn't bother me, but I just really wanted to know, is it just a dance? Is it really always just a dance? I even know people who have given dance and they end up fucking with the same person, you know, like, just because it's a lot of sexual tension in dancing, you know, and once you deepen that, like, that's what it comes to, you know. But that was really, like, a weird thought of mine. It wasn't weird, but, like, it made me think, you know, like, is it a double standard? Because I know if right now I go out, if I have a girl, and let's just say some gal pulls up on me, you know, and I'll do a little 1-2, but I wouldn't really dance with her per se, you know? And it comes to the point where me saying that, I have to think, if it's my girl and some nigga just pulls up behind her for little one too, could I be mad? And yes, I would be mad, but I would understand. But in your head, hey, what happened after the dance? You know? And I don't believe that either party would just say that. Well, me and this person danced, and then I gave him my number, or she gave me her number, or I asked for a number, and vice versa. And that was it. Like, the number in my phone, I don't plan on texting them. That's bullshit, you know? So, yeah, just help me out with that one. Is it really ever just a dance? Hashtag T2M. Yeah. And, speaking of, like, just awkward shit, right? So my boy came to me probably on Saturday or so, and he was like, boy, Pounds, would you ever date a guy with a kid? And I was like, yeah, but I have to know the baby daddy in the life. And as fucked up and shallow as that sounds, it's the truth. All right? If that's what you want to do, I have to know the nigga is not present and not there. All right? And so he posed the question, how could I want a single mother with a baby daddy to not have the father in the life or anywhere around, or the kid have no father, you know? And I thought about it, and I was like, it sounds bad, but I posed the question back to him in rebuttal. Let's just say me and her now had a kid, right? She has 2 kids now, 2 baby daddies, right? And let's just say it's summer. Paint you a picture. It's summer right now. And the kids are home with their big cousin. No, the kids are home by themselves, right? They like 4 or 5 years old. 6, 7, whatever, they by themselves. I was home with myself when I was 7, 8, so that's cool. They on their iPad, whatever, all right? And I come to bring my son lunch on my lunch break, all right? You know how fucked up it would be for me to come there repeatedly and bring my son a kid's meal and not his brother or sister, my stepkid, the next nigga baby daddy, next nigga baby, you know. And I thought about it, and I was like, and my boy was like, but he could do it because Diana's kid. Like, Diana's kid, you know? He's like, but fuck that, like, that's a nigga kid. He could, you know? And I was like, you really can't fathom yourself bringing one kid's meal to 2 kids every day, and only one of them kids eating. Like that's so fucked up. That's so fucked up. You know, and I was like, he was like, but they could share the kids' meal and so on, and this and that. And I was like, but if the kids share the kids' meal, my son ain't getting this full nourishment. So my son can't grow healthy and strong because he's sharing all his meals with his kid, you know. And I really had to think, could I really date a girl with a kid? And I wonder, like, for other people, like, what is your thought process in that? Like, could you date someone with a kid? And, like, how would you go about it? Like, could the father be... Because, see, in my head, if the father or mother is present still and they're separated, at some point in time, one could call another and be like, hey, I miss you. Let's work it out for the kid's sake. And there's some obligation which you can't even be mad at that it will be there, you know? And I was like, yo, I don't think I could, but that's just me, you know? It just may happen. You never know what could happen. Never say never, you know? And I was like, but I know. And so I asked you all the question, like, could you date someone with a kid, you know? So hit me up with that as well. The hashtag T2M. For the most part, that's me for the day. Like, I probably record something this weekend because it's holiday weekend. I about to get live. I'm gonna stop drinking as well. I want people to hold me to it. I'm gonna I'm gonna slow down drinking. Come April 2nd, supposedly like there's some 30-day challenge shit. I'm gonna try do that and just stop drinking. There's plenty calories in drinking. There's plenty calories in pussy too, but that's for another day. All right. With that said, just like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I think I could try get this shit on Tidal. I see people on Tidal now. I think because I can't get inside the Android store as of right now, but we getting there though. We getting there. Shout out to Team HL to the world. Shout out to everybody who fuck with me. I see y'all. We out there. We live. Episode 3. Thoughts to myself. Pow.